Good evening, everyone. Oh, come on now. Good evening, everyone. This is a festive occasion. Let us celebrate the class of 2019. Congratulations, parents and families of the class of 2019. I have to say, you all look incredible tonight. You all excited? Yes, indeedy. I want to start by introducing our platform party, and we're honored to have them here with us today. You all may take your seats. I think you all can keep standing, though. I'll quickly move through these. The back row to my immediate right, we have Tom Brown, who's a senior assistant dean in the College of Agricultural and Life Sciences. Let me get through these, y'all. We might be here all night. We have Dr. Bonnie Candia-Bailey, an Associate Dean of Students in the Division of Student Life. Lauren Devine Esquire, Director of Scholarship Administration and Recruitment, University of Wisconsin Law School. Dr. Jenny Faust, Associate Vice Provost for Strategic Initiatives and Director of the Office of Strategic Consulting in the Office of the Provost. Dr. Mel Freitag, she's a Diversity Officer in the School of Nursing. Dr. Ann Gade, Vilas Distinguished Achievement Professor, Nelson Institute for Environmental Studies. Dr. Christina Clawitter, Associate Dean for Student and Academic Affairs in the School of Education. Continuing to my left, Dr. Sarah Corpy, Academic Program Director for Independent Learning in the Division of Continuing Studies. Dr. Lisa Martin, Associate Dean of Graduate Education in the Graduate School. Dr. Carl Martin, Dean and Director, Division of Extension. David Murphy, Associate Vice Chancellor of Finance in the Office of the Vice Chancellor for Finance and Administration. Banu Palta-Hill, Assistant Dean for Diversity and Inclusion in the Wisconsin School of Business. Carmen Reamer, Student Services Program Manager in the School of Veterinary Medicine. Dr. Manuela Romero, Associate Dean for Undergraduate Affairs in the College of Engineering. Manuel Santiago, Director of the Office of Multicultural Affairs in the School of Medicine and Public Health. And Dr. Eric Wilcox, Deputy Dean and Associate Dean for Research in the College of Letters and Science. Please a warm welcome and applause for our platform party. On the first row, we have the staff members affiliated with the division. To my right, Dr. Gloria Hawkins, an Assistant Vice Chancellor. She's the Assistant Vice Chancellor and Director of the Merciel J. Lee Scholars Program in the Division of Diversity, Equity, and Educational Achievement. I'm only going to say that once because the rest of us are in that division. Sherry Charleston Esquire. Dr. Sherry Charleston Esquire, Assistant Vice Provost. Dr. Cheryl Gittins, also Assistant Vice Provost. We have our keynote speaker, Ziem Van Grove, who's the Head of Creative and Brand for New Zealand Trade and Enterprise. We have Emily Holfacker, Interim Director of the Posse Program. We have Claudia Mosley, Director of the Center for Educational Opportunity. And last but not least, Goodson Vu, Assistant Director of the People Program. Please a warm round of applause for our DDEEA staff. I'd like to begin my remarks tonight by acknowledging the indigenous peoples of these lands, in particular, the Ho-Chunk Nation on whose ancestral land this university sits. I have to say, you all look really, really good tonight. This is one of those moments in life that you know will become a beautiful permanent moment and a permanent memory for you in history. You all can be seated if you haven't figured that out now, have they? Seeing students, yourselves, persevere on the path to the life-changing day that is today, this never gets old for us. As we embark on this celebration of you, our graduates, I want to share a few thoughts with you on the subject of change. Here on this stage are any number of persons who, just like you, were the first in their family to attend college. In fact, that was my experience when I was graduating from undergraduate school. So we know firsthand how important this experience is for you. This is no small accomplishment that you're achieving this day and this weekend. It's been an incredible journey with lots of branches and a pivotal time in your life training. You have changed. In today's world, we've come to expect instantaneous results. Things can change with the push of a button or the downloading of an app. It appears that everything in our society can be faster easier, and more efficient, all so we can keep rushing towards a future that's more of the same, that's not that well defined. For many of us, that future is built on the intersection of our past with the people who remain in our lives and those new ones who enter it. One of them doesn't change, and the other changes very quickly. I want you to know we recognize the time in which you are living and that it's your generation that will help us recalibrate our current commitment to change for a common good. You all have learned how to effect change at a time in our nation's history where being diligent and persistent is just the appetizer. There's a full course meal on what it means to stand up for equality and justice that you all have prepared, and I'm here to say the best is yet to come. We've talked so many times about standing on the shoulders of our ancestors, and not only have you figured out how to climb up high and balance there to reach for the stars, you're also learning how to strengthen that foundation, and in some instances, rebuild the foundation to be better than before. You've probably learned by now that the best way to do this is to build key relationships with important people in your life. Obviously, your family, your significant others, or your boo, your friends. But I want to encourage you not to sleep on your haters. For many of you, they become that challenge and that double dare that you need in order to shift your thinking from wondering if the vision you've set before yourself is possible to knowing that it's more than possible and defining how you're going to get there. For some of us, that shift is easier said than done. It's a learning process that can be exhausting and frustrating because at the end of the day, we all have to contend with this thing called free will, meaning you can't just make people do what you want them to do. You either have to inspire them or challenge them to respond to a higher calling. The tricky part is, and here's my little bit of wisdom for you, you need to prepare yourself for one, the fact that you won't reach everybody, and two, you may not get to see the fruits of your labors for those you do reach. You'll need to continue your work trusting and believing in something greater than yourselves and that what you're doing will actually make a difference. Because if you don't believe it, then who will? For example, it may not seem like your individual efforts to move this campus forward to become a more inclusive, diverse, and welcoming place really matters. I'm here to tell you that those efforts do matter, because none of this would be happening if it weren't for students like yourselves who stood up 5 years ago and said, we're here and we deserve to be recognized. We heard the call and we responded. So we continue to fight the good fight and graduate some of this institution's best and brightest scholars. With every new degree, and I know that there are 255 of you that are going to be graduating tomorrow, from this class to be exact, you continue to move the needle forward. Every time you enter a space and you're still the only one who looks like you, understands where you're coming from, you move the needle forward by virtue of your very presence. Every time you start a new organization or a business that focuses on inspiring youth and helping them to see their full potential, you move the needle forward. With every friend you've made who taught you something about yourself and you actually chose to listen and learn, you move the needle forward in that simple exchange. You should be very proud to pass on your baton to the next generation. You've done your part, believe it or not, and earned your place in this legacy here at UW-Madison. But remember, the work doesn't stop here, because if we're not careful, things can always change back to the way they were. Yes, you've changed, and you've changed this university. Only time will tell us if we've done it for the better, right? Each and every one of you is on a path of excellence, and at a time it can feel a bit lonely. This is especially true for those of us who recall our first year on campus. How many of us felt lonely that first year? Yeah, if you did, you ain't telling me the truth, but anyway. By sophomore year, you started to know yourself and understand that rhythm of college life. This was the year that sand and grit worked its way into your life, and you began to learn a little more something about yourself and the overall process of being on your own. Junior year was the year that was make or break. Classes continued to get harder, relationships shifted, that freshman 15 may have become a permanent part of your physique. but you began to understand the full weight of how your personal choices can be incredibly freeing at times, and that great responsibility comes with those choices. You either get your act together, or you don't. But the important thing is you begin to recognize that in order to move forward, you must change. So you let go of what's not working and focus on what does work. You begin to realize big failures and disappointments are just as important as the victories. No one grows up without making mistakes. The key is always in what you learn as a result of those mistakes, because that's exactly what they are, mistakes. So you prepare yourself to take advantage of something else, a new challenge, something that speaks more intentionally to your passions and your purpose. It's been said that what doesn't kill you makes you stronger. The part not mentioned is what it feels like in that space between becoming stronger and nearly dying. But you'll figure that out too. So as I close, I want to encourage you to take what is within you and boldly continue to change the world. Be your best and most authentic selves in everything that you do. And most importantly, continue to be the change you want to see. Thank you, and on Wisconsin. At this time, it's my pleasure to introduce our keynote speaker, Mr. Ziem Van Grooth. Ziem is a 1994 UW-Madison graduate and Mercille J. Lee Power Snap Scholar who earned degrees in political science and international relations. Ziem is a UW alumnus passionate about making a difference, an entrepreneur and business development executive with more than 20 years of experience. Ziem didn't follow a traditional career path when leaving UW. Among other ventures, he managed a Blue Legend and co-founded a charter school in South Central Los Angeles. At the age of 16, Ziem started in the mailroom of Midwest Federal Bank, and 2 years later, he was an intern at age 18 in the corporate finance department of investment bank Dane Bosworth. The legendary Mercille Lee scooped him up as a Power Snap Scholar, and he's continued forging a non-traditional career path both domestically and abroad since leaving UW. Now, Mr. Van Grooth is the head of creative and brands for New Zealand Trade and Enterprise, the New Zealand government's international business development agency, advising top executives in film, entertainment, media, consumer products, and service companies on how to grow their international business. I don't know about you, but I'm gonna get his number in case I need a job. Ziem's resume is a testimony to what a creative mind can do with a degree from the University of Wisconsin-Madison. Bringing a message to inspire all of you, please welcome Ziem Van Grooth.
What up, University of Wisconsin-Madison Diversity, Equity, Educational Achievement Class of 2019. You did it. You did it. You know? You know what would be really cool is instead of when you get on stage, instead of people clapping, they just throw money at you. You know? Jewelry, you know what I'm saying? Starbucks gift cards, Sky Miles. Thank you, Diversity, Equity, and Educational Achievement Leadership, distinguished administration and faculty, guests, parents, and most of all, UW Madtown graduates. They only gave me 3 hours, so I got to talk fast. University of Wisconsin-Madison 2019 graduates, you represent the best and brightest of this university, this state, and this nation. For you to be in this room right now, you would have had to been among the top students in America. I'm just going to assume none of your all's parents paid off the tennis coach. Yeah. Graduates, you join a list of notable contributors to our country and to our planet. Take a look around you right now. You may be sitting next to the next Nazik Al-Malaki, Eudora Welty, Joyce Carol Oates, J.J. Watt, Russell Wilson, Al Toon, President Sirleaf of Liberia, Joan Cusack, Shirley Aberson, Ada Deer, Steve Miller. You may be next to the future governors, Tony Evers, Robert La Follette, Tommy Thompson, or future Senator Tammy Baldwin. Maybe the person right next to you will do big things, like Charles Lindbergh, Frank Lloyd Wright, John Muir, and Dr. Conrad Elvium. You may never have heard these people, but I promise you, graduates, you are in good company. This university graduates ballers. So my remarks are about success. I'm trying to get you all paid. Is that all right? Okay. And two things that you can keep in mind when you're going through life, because everyone says you need to be successful, but what does that really mean? These two things, remember this. You will be successful when you have peace and you have progress. And I'm going to talk about them. And I'm going to start with peace. I'm not going to lie to you. A lot of this content I stole from Facebook posts. Some people call it plagiarism. I call it genius. Okay. Things you worry about, things that could happen, things that do happen. I emailed my accountant last month and I said, Chuck, I'm really scared that I'm going to have to pay a lot more taxes than I already did. I pay a lot of taxes. He's like an 80-year-old Hispanic guy, right? So he emails me back and says, listen, don't worry. You don't owe any more taxes. Smoke a joint. It's legal. Things that happen, they don't happen. You think they're going to happen. They don't happen to you. Okay. Be mindful of things you put into your body. I'm in California, just so you know. I'm in LA. It's different out there on the West Coast. Okay. And I don't. It's just you know, he just said that. He was just joshing with me. Be mindful of the things you put in your body emotionally, spiritually, and physically. Here's one. Here's a good post I saw. Minding your own business will seriously eliminate half the problems in your life. 6 + 3 = 9, but so does 5 + 4. There's never only one way to do something. Respect that we all do things in a different way. And this is a big one. We go to a trainer and to a gym to get our bodies right, but we never go to seek help to get our emotions and how we feel right. Mental wellness is the foundation for peace. It's okay if we fall apart sometimes, graduates. Tacos fall apart sometimes, and we still love them. And parents, and I mean all you parents, you need to start binge watching your kids. Okay, now I'm going to talk about progress and money. Is that all right? Okay. How many of you have ever heard money doesn't buy you happiness? Okay. The next time somebody tells you that, you say, give me all yours. Right? How many of us have ever found a 20 in a laundry and said, sweet baby Jesus, thank you? Yes. Money doesn't buy happiness. I was happy that 20 was in the laundry. You have a new story to write, and it looks nothing like your past. You will regret the things you don't do. The past is not your prison, it's a grad school. Some advice. Join UW Alumni Association and be active in your local chapter. I'll get to that in a second. Go out and ask your favorite professors. I'm telling you, do it now. Ask your favorite professors for 3 people they can introduce you to for an informational meeting. Seek out some alumni and ask them to introduce you to folks. My name's Ian Van Groth on Facebook. Friend me on Facebook. I know you guys don't do Facebook. Friend me, I will hook you up, okay? You got one alumni now here that supports and loves you. Okay. Network with, there is no growth in the comfort zone and there's no comfort in the growth zone. Graduates, you got to risk it for the biscuit. Yes, yes. Network with each other. Get 20 classmates together and decide who has the best business plan, and you guys go invest in each other. Okay? Whether you like it or not, you are a brand, and people will look at you as such. Okay? So be a pro. Dress like you mean business. Cut your fingers and toenails. If you have a jacked up grill, fix it. Crest strips. Get a professional haircut and photos. Don't have keys jingling when you walk, you know? Press your clothes. Guys, shine your shoes. Do the little things. Scrub your social media as if all your future employees and investors will look at your posts because they do. Strategize your career. Your first or second job may just be paying the bills, but that's okay. Folks, I came to this campus already being in an investment bank and in a bank. The summer that I left this campus, I was a waiter at the Edgewater and the Great Dane Brew Pub. I had one hell of a summer. Woo! Okay. Graduates, you came into this campus with a president of the United States who was the first black president of the Harvard Law Review in over 100 years of its history and a Nobel Peace Prize recipient. You leave this campus with a president that is the former owner of the Miss Universe pageant. You came into school where business is changing. Uber, the world's largest taxi company, owns no vehicles. Facebook, the world's most popular media outlet, creates no content. Alibaba, the world's largest, most valuable retailer, has no inventory. And Airbnb, the world's largest accommodation provider, owns no real estate. You are inheriting a country where you put your life at risk just by going into a mosque, a synagogue, a temple, or church to worship. A country where there are 35 school shootings already this year. You live in a country where women still get paid less for the same amount of work than men. A country that throws away $165 billion worth of food each year. A country where who will sit on the Iron Throne is more important than finding out how our votes were hijacked in the last election and how we can protect our democracy moving forward. Graduates, you communicate with emojis, face with tears of joy, loudly crying face, smiling face with hard eyes, red heart, praying hands, fist bump, backward index pointing right, LOL, SMH, WTF. You are graduating into a world that has been flipped upside down, and there are two things you can do to make sure you count. Number one, register to vote and vote. Your generation, Y and Z, will elect the next president and the next Congress of the United States of America, and in the process, elect the next agenda of our planet. On the ballot in the next few years, your student loans and your ability to pay them back is on the ballot. Whether you stay on your parents' health care or keep health insurance for pre-existing conditions is on the ballot. Who you can love, how you can think of yourself, cannabis, and a living wage is on the ballot. Social justice, the courts, the judges, the people that decide your fate in the courtroom are on the ballot. Your right to your own body is on the ballot. Your drinking water and air is on the ballot. Decency, rule of law, the golden rule is on the ballot. The very core idea of our country, that we are all created equal, is on the ballot. Your future and our planet's future is on the ballot. You need to go vote. The second thing is go big, really big. Get in the business that solves the biggest crisis we're facing, climate change. Design electric vehicles, improve LED light bulbs, clean up chemicals in our refrigerators and air conditioners, harness wind energy on land, get people to throw away less food and eat more plants, restore our tropical rainforests, educate girls. Your success, above all, your peace and progress, will be based on how good of a human you become. UW alumni Dr. Carl Rogers believed that humans have one basic motive, and that is to achieve the highest level of human beingness we can. My mom would always say, you're a human becoming more human each day. Your human beingness, you're becoming more human each day, your critical thinking, your creative mind, your purpose of thought will lead you to your greatest success. And I'll end with a story about the richest farmer in the world. There was a reporter, a young reporter, that was asked to go and interview the richest farmer in the world, and they said he's somewhere in Iowa. So this reporter went around for months trying to find this guy, and finally was on this dirt road lost in the middle of Iowa, and he saw a man sitting on a shack, and he went up to the man and said, I'm looking to interview the richest farmer in the world. And that man said, I'm that person. And he told him the story. He said, when my parents died, They gave me and my two brothers the family farm, and they split it 3 ways. Well, I wasn't a farmer. I was trying to get rich. So I took my portion and sold it to my brothers, and I took all my money and went to Vegas. And boy, did I party. I had the best clothes. I saw the best shows. I had penthouse, and I was living large until I started losing. Then all the friends that I made, all the things that I thought were important, just went by the wayside. I had $200 left to my name and decided to put that $200 on the roulette table because that's where I had magic before. I put that money down, and bam, I lost all my money. I was broke in the middle of Vegas. The only thing I knew to do was go call my brothers and see if they could wire me some money to get a Greyhound so I could go back to Iowa. Well, I didn't even have a quarter in my pocket. And so I went around the casino asking for a quarter. No one would give me a quarter. And I couldn't believe my fate. What was happening to me? So finally, after hours and hours, a man across the room throws a quarter at me and says, "Get a job, you bum. Get out of this casino." I couldn't believe myself. I was sick. I needed to go find the bathroom. It was clear across the casino. I ran across the casino, went into the bathroom, paid toilets, 25 cents. I looked at that quarter and I was like, oh my God. I started to cry. And then a man comes out of the stall. He opens the door for me and says, "Here you go, sir. Have a nice day." I went into the stall, fell to my knees, started bawling, did my thing, got up, tried to dust myself off, and then washed my hands and came out of the casino bathroom. And right in front of the bathroom, there was a slot machine. I looked at that quarter and I said, what the heck? Put that in, pulled that trigger, and bam! The biggest jackpot in Vegas history. I took that money, took a bus back to Iowa, bought my part of the farm back, started getting really wealthy, good at farming, started buying my brothers out, and then I started buying all the farms around, and I became the richest farmer in the world. But I wasn't happy, so I gave all that money away, and that's why I'm there today. The reporter was just shocked. He was like, "That's the greatest story I ever heard." And he said, "I just have one more question for you, sir." And he said, "If you ever found that man who gave you the quarter, you would give him half your fortune, wouldn't you?" And the farmer said, "If I ever found that man that gave me the quarter, I'd give him his quarter back." Find me the man that opened the door for me, and that man I'd give half my fortune. Graduates, someone opened the door for each one of you in this room. All of us had open doors. The greatest Madison is a very special place. It's the greatest undergrad college experience in the world. This university opens doors. This university opened the door for you to become great, so others have a pathway to greatness. In Saigon, Vietnam, 1975. My mom put me in an orphanage because as an African American and a Vietnamese kid, she knew I wouldn't survive if I didn't go to get out of Vietnam. In that same year, a plane carrying 314 people crashed in a rice paddy just after takeoff. 78 babies, 35 defense attachés, and 11 Air Force members died. Graduates, I was supposed to be on that plane, but got lost from my group. My adopted parents, my family, the U.S. military, my city, my state, Mercille J. Lee, this university opened many, many doors for me. Everyone in this room loves all of you. This university, this city, this faculty, this administration, this education community only expects these things: that you be excellent in all you do, that you do right for right's sake, that you never ever quit becoming a star, that you help just one other person achieve the success you have achieved, and that you provide light in a time when this planet needs light. University of Wisconsin-Madison, 2019 graduates, the door is wide open for you. I wish you peace and progress and much success in your journey. Congratulations.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. This year's Outstanding Alumni of Color Award goes to a Badger who started attending alumni events just 2 years after graduating in 1978. Most importantly, she kept participating and volunteering. A native of Chicago, Chi-Town, I was getting ready to say Chi-Town stand up, but she did it. A native of Chicago, Linda majored in mathematics and today is an expert in aligning information technology, operations, systems implementation, quality assurance practices and training with business strategies and retail objectives. She utilizes this expertise as an award-winning residential property realtor in the Chicago regional market, handling transactions between sellers, investors, and buyers with vendors, attorneys, and financiers. As an official admissions volunteer, a posse coordinator, and a Big Ten volunteer, Linda Pitts is a dedicated Badger alum who is living the Wisconsin idea. Now she's our 2019 Outstanding Alumni of Color. Please join me in welcoming Linda Pitts. Linda, please come up.
Good evening, good evening. I want to say hello, and what a glorious sight to behold. First, I would like to thank the Lord, for indeed we have come a mighty long way. It is an honor and a privilege to be here today. On the behalf of you and you and you, I humbly receive this award. You, the students who sit here today in anticipation of tomorrow, you, the parents, guardians, mentors, family, and friends who have supported these students, my future alums, and all their efforts to date, and you, my friends, mentors, and cohorts who encouraged and supported me in all my efforts on behalf of creating, maintaining, and sustaining diversity here at the University of Wisconsin-Madison. What a glorious time it is for us all. So to the graduates, tomorrow, you will end one journey only to begin another. You are entering the main flow of your life's force. You have defied the odds. You have laughed, cried, struggled, and triumphed. You are no longer that innocent, naive person you were when you first stepped on this campus. You have walked the hill many times, wrote the papers, did the projects, taken the tests, and passed the courses. As you start your new journey, you will take with you all that you have achieved, but what you will use most is the knowledge contained in each and every one of your Madison experiences. Some have been deflating, some have been exhilarating, and all have been purpose-driven to this point in your timeline. Always reflect on them as you move forward. What does this all mean? It means that you are about to be part of a network of over 300,000 others who are Badger alum. Reach out and touch them. Find out about them and let them find out about you. You'll be amazed as to where it will lead. Connect to the opportunities that are in the heads of these men and women. Trust me, that is where the real treasures lie. The things that are not posted or tweeted in social media. It also means to whom much is given, much is expected. Understand that you now have the tools to do anything you desire. Use what you have to change the world. Start with one action at a time. Create a legacy for others to use. And finally, it means that you are in rare air because you too are Wisconsin. God bless you and enjoy your evening.
We'd just like to present Miss Linda Pitt's class of, I'm going to say class of 1978. Outstanding Alumni of Color Award, honoring alumni who have elevated our alma mater through professional achievement and extraordinary commitment to making the University of Wisconsin-Madison a more diverse and inclusive campus of excellence.
Congratulations, Linda. And thank you all so much for being here with us today for the DDEEA graduation. Today's ceremony will go a little something like this. Each program director will introduce a student speaker from their program. After each student speaks, they'll invite the rest of the graduates from their program to follow them across the stage as their names are called. Once they arrive on stage, each graduate will receive a symbolic certificate from their director. This process will happen for each divisional program. With this in mind, please welcome Dr. Cheryl Gittens.
Good evening. Again, my name is Cheryl Gittens. I serve as the Assistant Vice Provost in the Division of Diversity, Equity, and Educational Achievement. And tonight, I have the honor of presenting two programs of students, the DDEEA Intern Program and the McNair Scholars Program. Yeah. DDEEA's Intern Program supports students' personal and professional development while providing them with diversity and inclusion experience at a public institution. One of our goals is to prepare students for a collaborative work environment in a field in which they hold interest. It has been our distinct pleasure to work with such bright and talented students. The interns crossing the stage today represent only a handful of the talent we have had the privilege of working with this year. Yeah, my intern's not here tonight. Will the interns who are part of our scholarship programs please stand and be recognized at this time? At this time, would all intern graduates please join me on the stage?
Put some respect on my check. Pay me in equity. Watch me reverse out of dicks. He got a bad chick. We live in lavish. I get expensive fabrics. I got expensive habits. He wanna go away. He likes to roll with it. He wanna be with it. He wanna give me the
Clark Imani Smith. Eddie Redant. Jasmine Escareno.
right, that's our intern program. Next, we want to honor graduates of the Ronald E. McNair Post-Baccalaureate Achievement Program, also known as the McNair Scholars Program. The McNair Scholars Program was established at the University of Wisconsin-Madison in 1995 to support undergraduates in acquiring the skills, knowledge, and capacities to navigate the rigors of graduate school. The McNair Scholars Program engages students in programs and services including academic advisement, career guidance, faculty-mentored research, and seminars introducing students to life in the academy. Students gain experience publishing research in peer-reviewed journals and presenting at local and national conferences. Tonight, I have the distinct privilege of introducing one of our many talented scholars, Ms. Tashiana Lipscomb. All right, come on, let me tell you about her. All right, let me tell you about her. Tashiana Lipscomb is a scholar born in Gary, Indiana, and raised in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. She joined the Badger family as a student in the Pre-College Enrichment Opportunity Program for Learning Excellence, also known as PEOPLE, and became a scholar in the McNair Cohort 2018. She has made her mark on campus, in the community, and throughout the country. As the former president of both the Wisconsin Black Student Union and the Epsilon Delta chapter of Alpha Kappa Alpha Sorority Incorporated. Tashiana has worked to prioritize community at the center of all her work. She currently works as a peer educator in the Violence Prevention and Survivor Services departments in University Health Services and as a community-based learning intern for the Mortgage Center for Public Service. Her research has allowed her to present at conferences in Toronto, Bermuda, Ireland, across the United States, and also serve as a guest lecturer in the School of Human Ecology and the art departments on campus. Yeah, she's a boss. At this time, please help me welcome Tashiana Lipscomb to the stage.
I gotta make sure this is an updated version, that's all, y'all. Okay. Hey, y'all, my name is Tashiana Daje Lipscomb. I'm a 2018 cohort scholar in the Ronald E. McNair Post-Baccalaureate Achievement Program and will be graduating with a Bachelor's of Science in Education Studies and Sociology. This coming fall, I will continue my studies in a fully funded Sociology of Education, PhD program at New York University. For the next 5 years, I'll be establishing a new home in a place I've only visited for literally less than 24 hours. Okay, but your uncle lived there. Yes, he do, yes. This decision looked very differently than my decision to attend the University of Wisconsin-Madison. I consider UW-Madison home before I attended college. I came here because as a People pre-college scholar, I spent all 4 of my high school years connected to this university. To me, UW-Madison was a representation of the many sacrifices made by my parents, but also a place where I could find my best friends and my favorite summer memories, like Mafia game nights in the Lenny Lounge at Whitty's. You know, I never look at some of y'all the same after them. And then I got here, and if some of y'all have seen the movie Us by Jordan Peele, I kind of met a more tethered version of the UW I thought I knew. Despite my pre-college exposure, my first year on campus was met with a lot of discomfort, such as confused stares, racial slurs, and even physical violence against friends. These experiences fueled my peers and I to encourage other students, faculty, and staff to share our experiences with hate and bias on campus using the hashtag #TheRealUW. Student artists use this platform and analysis to inform art pieces highlighting their experiences as Black and brown students. As a freshman, I helped organize the first one-day art exhibit at the Chazen Museum of Art, hosting over 600 students, faculty, and community members. And it was then that I realized the importance of community-grounded research. This experience launched my commitment to ultimately make our campus a place where everyone feels safe and comfortable enough to call home. While hashtag #TheRealUW meant so much to a lot of us as students in 2016, the space for healing created out of it felt short-lived. But I was still able to find home and solidarity in many other spaces. I continued to find home in the People program, shout out to the Empire. I found a home in the Wisconsin Black Student Union. I found both a stylish and gracious home in sisterhood and Alpha Kappa Alpha Sorority Incorporated. And I found a home in research as a Ronald E. McNair Postbaccalaureate Achievement Scholar. The McNair Scholars Program pushed me to put all of who I am in my work, to also make a home for myself and others who are historically deficit-framed and ignored in all of my research. Some of my McNair Program cohort members did so by challenging stereotyping memes like Imani Wilson, or even studying embodied trauma like Breonna Taylor, questioning birth rate disparities for Black birth givers like Malik Williams, and even focusing on our drinking water and wastewater treatment like Jana Huerta Garcia. Malik reminded us the other day that Flint, Michigan still doesn't have clean water. This home in the McNair program has led us to find so much about what it means to use research as a tool to influence change, illuminate the voices of those historically and presently marginalized, and in a lot of ways worked as an accomplice to all of the necessary work being done in our own communities. While stories like my cohort should be platformed, not everyone had the opportunity to find a home in UW after the momentum of the real UW passed. I'm sure there are a lot of graduates in the room who know people who were locked out or pushed out of this university. I think the most about Chevelle Shaw, may she rest in power. Chevelle was brilliant and hilarious. She put everybody on to scissor before the wave, and she should have been graduating with us here today. Nearly 2 years ago, Chevelle was in danger. She deserved protection, and she sought out help from the university, and she didn't get it. Chevelle deserved to find a home here like so many others. Many of us are leaving to do things we never imagined because people who were continuously challenged imagined a home for us here, somewhere. Whether that be the dream of the late Dr. or late Miss Jackie DeWalt and all the People Scholars who will graduate in her memory, or the dreams of the late Dr. Ronald E. McNair, who died making space for students who are constantly doubted in academia and knew that we deserved a driving place in research and in meaning making. Both of their passions challenged and encouraged us to build a legacy that leaves no one behind. It's our responsibility as graduates to continue to create these homes, not for anyone, but with our own communities. This distinction within my work is one I intend to carry with me to New York. This opportunity is one that wouldn't be possible without God, my family, my friends, my mentors, Dr. Bianca Baldridge and Dr. Rochelle Winkelwagner, Dr. Cheryl Giddens, Khadijah Ray, Goodson View, and my McNair and People cohort. Thank y'all for always being ready, willing, and most importantly, thank y'all for being home. At this time, I welcome all McNair program scholars to join me on the stage.
Count it up, it, baby, you a boss.
Imani Wilson. Malik Williams. Tashiana Dejay Lipscomb. Brianna Taylor.
There we go. Congratulations, McNair graduates. My name is Dr. Sherry Charleston, and I currently serve as Assistant Vice Provost in the DDEEA and function as the Director of the First Wave Scholarship Program. This evening, it's my honor to say a few words about this program and introduce our next speaker, Mackenzie Berry. But first, let me tell you a little bit about this amazing program and these amazing students who are sitting here. First Wave is unique because it's the first university program in the country centered on urban arts, spoken word, and hip-hop culture. There we go. A decade before the fever pitch of hip-hop hit atmospheric levels with Lin-Manuel Miranda's Hamilton, this university took the bold and courageous step to recruit and fully fund students whose gifts challenge the mainstream and speak truth to power. UW-Madison has been in this leadership role since 2007 and will welcome its 12th cohort this fall. These first waivers are change makers. Often at the vanguard of what this century will become, I am so blessed to have gotten an opportunity to know each and every one of you along this journey. Which brings me to Mackenzie Berry. Mackenzie is nothing short of amazing. Try to keep up with me when I list her accomplishments. She's an English major with an emphasis in creative writing and a certificate in Afro-American studies. She's a member of the 10th cohort of First Wave, which means she's graduating a year ahead of schedule, becoming the first non-transfer First Wave scholar to graduate early in 3 years, all the while maintaining over a 3.8 GPA. Mackenzie is one of our most awarded students anywhere on campus, having written for and received over 20 grants in her lifetime, and having amassed an astounding 20-plus awards and honors, including being named a Wisconsin Idea and Hex U Fellow, the campus nominee for the prestigious Rhodes Fellowship, national finalist for the Truman, and finalist for the Herforth Kubley. Her longtime advisor, Ade Asafa, wanted me to share on her behalf how special Mackenzie is, noting that Mackenzie puts the needs of others before her own, helping other First Wave scholars in many ways. Mackenzie is an intellectual force of nature with the bars to match, a true sage with wisdom beyond her years, whose maturity, tenacity, and intellect is in equal portion only to her kindness, gentleness, and generosity of spirit. I am beyond thrilled to present this year's First Wave graduation speaker, Miss Mackenzie Berry.
They told me I have to talk about myself, so I suppose I'll start with that first. I'm from Louisville, Kentucky, gateway to the South, hometown of Muhammad Ali, debatably where the cheeseburger was invented, but talk to me afterward and I'll convince you. Everybody say Louisville? Louisville. Okay. If anyone tries to pronounce it different, Tell them you heard it here first. My name is Mackenzie Berry, and I'm in the 10th cohort of the First Wave Hip Hop and Urban Arts program, making it 3 cohorts that are represented here this evening, including the 8th cohort and the 9th cohort. Some people have asked me why I'm graduating in 3 years, and it's really quite simple. It's just too cold. That sunshine that you saw outside, that's a lie. It's a green screen. It's not really there. I respectfully ask that no one post a sunny photo of Madison so as not to spread false propaganda to prospective students, as it is a tundra 8 months out of the year. But in all seriousness, the reason I decided to come to UW-Madison was because of the First Wave program, which is the only program of its kind at a university. I originally had my sights set on an Ivy League, but changed my focus when I found out about First Wave. In one of my essays in my application for First Wave, I wrote, I expect some conflict and clashes and disappointments, as well as some support and improvement and achievement. Well, that foreshadow is to say the least. Former faculty director of First Wave, Ahmad Johnson, pointed out that the First Wave program will inherently be a vocal critique of the university because hip-hop is anti-institution, it is grassroots, and it is of the people, and therefore always exists in attention because it can't be institutionalized or categorized. When I think of the 9th cohort, I think of them creating the real UW along with others and seeking to hold UW accountable and create a space for themselves on campus. When the first cohorts of First Wave descended on this campus, they didn't even know if their scholarships would be guaranteed the next year, and without them, this scholarship would not exist today. Like many First Wave students, I knew that if I didn't receive a full tuition scholarship, I couldn't go to college. When I first came to UW in the summer of 2016, I expected an older group of First Wavers to approach everyone in the new cohort and make us perform a poem or whatever art we do and decide right then and there if we were to be sent home or if we could stay. To the contrary, I think about the moments when community has shown up, when Nia in the 8th cohort brought half her closet for my cohort to choose from so that we wouldn't be cold when winter came, and come, it did. Yes, I write poems, I major in poems. I was asked in my Truman Scholar finalist interview how the arts can be used for social change, and I recounted to them that I decided to study poetry and writing because it encompasses every other subject: philosophy, sociology, politics, even math and sciences. And I told them how I think the best way to learn history is through reading the poets of the time. So, you can't tell me that my degree is unemployable because I studied everything. My main intention on coming to campus was to use as many resources as possible to redistribute to community and arts projects which are often underfunded, including community arts and research projects, study abroad, and writing and leaderships awards. I've gotten over $40,000 through fellowships, awards, and scholarships that the university offers over my 3 years, most of which has been used for projects like the one I did for the Wisconsin IDEA and HEXU fellowships to address mass incarceration through the arts, a podcast series I did in my hometown that examined health access in urban and rural Kentucky, a documentary film about Muhammad Ali's influence on hip-hop and how Black women shaped the culture with Nia Scott, and co-founding the Uprise Poetry Collective with Penda Smith, among others. And some years from now, I don't know how I will look back on my time here, but in this moment, I think I can speak beside all First Wavers when I say that we have a complicated relationship with this place. But I can say that if anything, First Wavers know how to take an ivory tower and turn it into a cipher, take an awkward silence and make it a concert, and shape what's left of anything into the best of it. All I can hope at the end of it all is that we'll be able to say we took the world across our knee. I, for one, would like to be the old woman with no small talk left in me and with all my best years still left. At this time, would all First Wave scholars please join me on stage?
May 17th, a queen can't wait. I'ma take flights to Kuwait.
Mackenzie Berry. Ricardo Cortez de la Cruz II. Jamie Dawson. Luke Carmichael Belmadrid. Miriam Muhammad. Shuang Hu. Nia Scott. Kenneth Dizon. Obasi Davis. Tiffany Ike.
Good evening. My name is, oh, I like that, thank you. Good evening. My name is Emily Hofacker, and I serve as the, hey y'all, serve as the interim director of the Posse program. Posse started in 1989 because of one scholar who said, I never would have dropped out of college if I had my posse with me. One of Posse's main goals is to train leaders for tomorrow, and here at UW, we are absolutely doing just that. These scholars are top-notch students who excel both in and outside of the classroom, making positive change and impact everywhere they go. They transform every corner of society, bridge differences with poise, and maximize all opportunities presented to them. Posse has been an integral part of the UW-Madison campus since 2002, when we brought on our first posses from Chicago. Where's Chicago at? That was only the start. Since then, we've added scholars from LA, DC, and our first ever STEM-specific city, New York. I am honored to introduce our 2019 Posse graduation speaker, Stephanie Henry. Stephanie is a leader and a scholar in all that she does. Her academic achievements, involvement, mentoring, volunteering, and research are the epitome of what a well-rounded Posse graduate of the University of Wisconsin-Madison look like. She is a double major in neurobiology and French, has studied abroad in France, conducted research at UW-Madison and at Yale University, is a published researcher, and still always makes time for UW-Madison and her community. She is one of the most driven, charismatic, and hard-working young women I have ever met. I am so very proud of you, Steph. I am ecstatic to see the change that you make in the world of neurobiology, health, and research as you move along on your academic and life journey. At this time, I would like to welcome you to the stage.
New York, can I get a yeah? Greetings, family, friends, and fellow graduates. My name is Stephanie Henry, and I am a New York 4 STEM Posse Scholar. From Brooklyn, New York,
by way of St. Vincent and the Grenadines. And I love neurons. I love their structure. I love their function. I love that they communicate using electricity. In fact, neurons remind me of posse scholars. I bet you're wondering how, right? Well, I'm a neurobiologist by training, so I'll break it down for you. In my analogy, neurons are posse scholars, leaky channels are your troubles in life, and myelin is your posse. Neurons are the building blocks of the nervous system, much like posse scholars are the building blocks of our community. Neurons are customized to serve the environment they are in the same way that each posse scholar holds a unique role in every community they are a part of. Posse scholars are social activists, research scientists, Truman scholars, performing artists, engineers, and the list goes on. There's nothing a posse scholar can't do or be. Neurons and posse scholars alike work in networks. The relationships we build are part of the strength we hold as a community. We build relationships using our unique skills and talents to communicate in the same way that neurons use electric charge. These connections can be to other scholars, other posses, other entities altogether. My freshman year, I had the opportunity to connect with the women in science and engineering learning community, for which I went on to be a peer mentor and house fellow. I have also served as a STEM ambassador for the Office of STEM Initiatives, through which I have been involved in the retention of underrepresented minorities in STEM majors and attended numerous conferences for the presentation of my research. Outside of my STEM-related passions, I studied abroad last semester in Aix-en-Provence, France, volunteered at the River Food Pantry, choreographed and danced for Roots Afro-Caribbean dance team, and I am a proud member of Delta Sigma Theta Sorority Incorporated. As scholars, we sometimes lose our charge when we are met with hardships. Leaky channels come in all shapes and forms: loss of a family member, a class you are struggling through, the waning of your mental health. The list gets very long very quickly, doesn't it? Well, there is one last special structure that I have not yet described to you called myelin. It is a neurosupportive cell whose role is to insulate the charge of a neuron so that its precious electric information can be passed on efficiently to other neurons in network. Do you see where I'm going with this? Myelin is your posse. Better yet, the entire posse community. The staff, the mentors, the posse cohorts before and after you. They are the people that remind you why you are capable of achieving the goals you have set for yourself. They remind you of why and how you earned your place here. They remind you that they are enough, period. I asked the graduating class, who are you going to recruit to preserve your charge when you depart from UW-Madison? I am a proud product of the posse community, of the abundance of love and support that we give each other in smiles walking down University Avenue, in hugs and warm fuzzies at the Posse Plus retreat, in the mentorship that gives you a kick when your motivation is lacking and high-fives you when you accomplish everything they knew you were capable of, the mentorship that has confidence in you when you don't have confidence in yourself. I have had the inestimable honor of being loved on by this community while being allowed to love on this community without bounds because I know it is a safe space. As a product of this love and support, I have been able to accomplish more than I could have imagined during my undergraduate career at UW. While earning a Bachelor's of Science in Neurobiology and French, I have co-authored 2 publications regarding neuropathology. You can look me up on PubMed. I have also studied abroad in France, received awards for the presentation of my research, served as a research fellow at the Yale School of Medicine, and I am proud to announce that next year, I will be serving as a research associate in the UW Hospital Alzheimer's Disease Research Center. With a joint appointment as the biospecimen coordinator for the Wisconsin Brain Donor Program. I'll serve these roles while I apply to MD PhD programs to begin my formal training as a physician scientist in the fall of 2020. The cohort I am graduating with has achieved feats greater than our wildest dreams. As we look to our futures in celebration of our triumphant past, I wish my fellow graduates the very best in all your future endeavors. At this time, Would all Posse scholars please join me on stage?
Stephanie Henry. Abigail Cantonier. Antonique Brown. Alan Meza. Diana Mendes. Kasia Charles. Ali Abalaran. Camilo Hernandez Hoya. Gabrielle Lee. Riza Panila. Asia Noble. Nicole Pietronti. Leandro Padilla. Melina Recalda. Javi Diaz. Ricardo Manel. Noemi Shirano. Elisa Cruz. Kent Mock. Elvis Vidal. Jasmine Escareno. Olivia Smith. Adina Awa Fuiten. Melina Shavaria. Carrington Ewings, Crystal Stonewall,
Again, congratulations to the Posse Scholars. Good evening, I'm Dr. Gloria Hawkins, Assistant Vice Provost and Director of the Mercill J. Lee Scholars Program, which encompasses the Chancellor's and PowerSnap scholarships. The PowerSnap Scholarship was established in 1989 in response to the growing number of academically promising ethnic minority and underrepresented students who were applying to UW-Madison. There were 25 scholars in 1989, and 30 years later, 1,300 PowerSnap students have entered the program. 46 will be graduating in this year's class. The philosophy of the program is excellence in scholarship, leadership, and service. PowerSnap scholars are expected to strive for academic excellence, work intentionally to develop their leadership potential, and engage in individual and collective stewardship activities, as demonstrated 2 weeks ago when the graduating seniors contributed $1,600 toward the Mercill J. Lee Scholarship Fund. PowerSnap scholars have made their presence known on campus as leaders and as agents of positive change through their engagement of service and advocacy work in the Madison community. Because of their stewardship, they received a commendation from the Ronald McDonald House for their service. I am now pleased to introduce one of our graduating PowerSnap scholars, Milan Pavlik. A committed scholar, Milan pursued a major in international studies with an emphasis on global security. Throughout his undergraduate career, he was actively involved in campus life, seeking opportunities which embodied the core values of the Mercill J. Lee Scholars Program of Excellence in Scholarship, Leadership, and Service. He dedicated himself to developing leadership skills that will enable him to effectively serve others. He served as the PowerSnap class co-chair, a House Fellow for Whitty Residence Hall, and treasurer of the Students for Justice in Palestine. His experiences in leadership and service were invaluable when he assumed the role of Assistant Director of the Wisconsin Union Directorate Society and Politics. To complement Milan's service to the campus community, he is also a member of Kappa Alpha Psi fraternity. After graduation, Milan would take a gap year and apply to law school. Milan's life on and off campus exemplify the core values of the Power Snap Scholarship Program. Please welcome Milan to the stage.
I know, I'm trying not to cry. Let's see what I can do and make it through. Good evening, graduates, alumni, future graduates, family, and faculty. Again, my name is Milan Pavlich from Athens, Georgia, and I'm graduating with a degree in international studies with an emphasis in global security and a certificate in African studies. I am a Power Snap scholar, as was mentioned, and a proud member of Students of Justice of Palestine, and also a member of the blazing Beta Omicron chapter of Kappa Alpha Psi Fraternity Incorporated. Again, yo to the good noobs. Before I share my experience at the university, I believe some thank yous are in order. I'd like to thank the entire staff at the university, the faculty that balances their research with molding young minds, and the hardworking people who keep this university clean and warm. I'd like to thank the Power Snap Scholarship for giving me a chance to study and grow in Madison, Wisconsin, and the Chancellor Scholarship for giving me some of my best friends. I'd like to thank my mama, Stacey Barnum, for dragging me through middle school and loving and listening to me no matter where I am on earth. I'd also like to thank my father, Ed Pavlich, for handing me book after book to read since I learned how to read. Finally, I'd have to thank my sister and brother, Sinchana and Mazay, who are back there in the back, who have protected their older brother and taught me what it means to love someone from first sight. I'm sorry I never let y'all win. I had to go seek tag or kickball, but I still love y'all. I remember being a young, scared freshman and attending my first PK orientation. I sat next to Landry and Dio and immediately sparked a conversation with him, which calmed the frenetic energy I feel when I'm nervous, putting me a little more at ease. And in my first PK meeting, I met a few more people who I could identify with. At the next event, a few more people who also felt a little rudderless, a little intimidated, but were determined to solve the problems that plague young freshmen on this campus. Sooner rather than later, we found ways to cope with the inundating, all-encompassing whiteness we were tasked with navigating. We started the search for who we are. We started to find people who thought on similar wavelengths as us. And thankfully, we learned not to search for parties in groups of 30. It's a learning process. And because of magical people like Dominic Ledesma, Joe Maldonado, Jacqueline Fisher, Gloria Hawkins, of course, and Samantha Samrid, we weren't alone in our singular paths to become young adults. These people provided us with structure, advice, and sometimes stern guidance. I know countless people who cried during one of their semester checkups. And I'll tell you right now, that man back there, Dominic Ledesma, had me wiping away tears, reminding the young me that I didn't know nearly as much as I thought I did. But these weren't tears of pain, but tears of progress. Tears to nourish the seeds of promise and knowledge that rested somewhere in me and my fellow scholars. The important thing is, these people and this class slowly coalesced into a family. And like all families, we fought when it was time. We loved one another when it was time. We were dysfunctional most of the time, but still applauded and laughed when it was time as well. And I know that in many ways the story is the same for the rest of the scholars I'm here to celebrate. But I know for a fact, I would not be where I am without the people I came here with. I would not be here if our monthly meetings didn't give me a chance to vent the anger I felt time and time again on this campus. Even though most of y'all just sat there trying to figure out what the heck I was talking about, it still was cathartic to express myself in a safe place. I would not be here without having a place to discuss what Blackness and Black History Month meant to me, a place to describe how the air hung darker and heavier the day Trump was elected president, a place to vent how it felt when campus climate surveys reiterated what minorities have said about this campus climate since black students struck 50 years ago to demand increases in black enrollment. It wasn't all so heavy though, we played together too. Y'all remember, hopefully. We played dodgeball together at our PK annual picnics, and after 2 years of tone-deaf songs, we finally won our annual chant competition against the other classes. Yeah. And now, actually, but on a more serious note, I can't say what it meant to walk through campus, tired and hungry, and feel the difference a smile and a quick dap from a fellow scholar can make. And now, just like all families, it's time for us to go our separate ways. It's time to show the university, our families, and most importantly ourselves, why we were awarded these scholarships. I wish all my family love and affection, no matter where in the world life takes them. Thank you for teaching me how to open up and love strangers as brothers and sisters. To my PK and CS family, thank you for being a part of my life. I know that you all will make an impact wherever you are and in whatever you'll do. And with that being said, would y'all please come to the stage with me? Thank you.
Milan Pavlich. Kayla Serafina Roman. Alexandria DeSato. Jasmine Owens. Sing Yang. Sophia Minter. Kristen Dashlet. Landry Indahio. Joseph LeBlanche. Casey Simpson. Kylie Jackson. Rachel Haynes. Araceli Becerra. Michaela Toomey. James Clow. Zach Gilbert. Kellen Lowry. Julia Cheney. Cecilia Cortez. Jerry Arriaga. Emmanuel Adams. Ricardo Zuniga. Roman Burridge. Veronica Palma.
Let's give another round of applause for our Power Snap scholars. As they take their seats, we'll keep our program moving. Good evening. I am Claudia Mosley, Director of the Center for Educational Opportunity, which is commonly referred to as CO. On behalf of the CO staff, I bring you greetings and share our excitement to celebrate our graduates. The Center for Educational Opportunity is comprised of the Academic Success and Achievement Program, along with the federally funded TRIO Student Support Services Program and Student Support Services STEM Program, which has a science, technology, engineering, and math focus. For 25 years, CO has promoted academic achievement, retention, and graduation among first-generation college students, income-eligible students, and individuals with documented disabilities. Our team works very closely with students to assist them as they navigate the multiple demands of school, family, work, and community. Today, we celebrate our graduates who have each completed their own journey of self-discovery and academic success. They are truly trailblazers. They will take on what they have learned and transform our local communities, our state, our nation, and the world. I am honored to introduce you to one of our many successful CO scholars, Alessandra Chavez. Better known to us as Allie. Allie has demonstrated great resilience, perseverance, and persistence in her quest to become an alumna of the University of Wisconsin-Madison. She has contributed her time and talents to leadership roles within CO's Guiding Peers to Success mentoring program and Gamma Alpha Omega Sorority Incorporated. Her commitment to excellence is evident in her authentic relationships with the mentors she supervises and the mentees she has coached over the past few years. As this active CO scholar completes her rehabilitation psychology major with certificates in criminal justice and Chicano and Latino studies, she leaves a legacy of leadership, scholarship, and service. When I think of Allie, I think of a quiet storm. You know the ones. They are powerful. They are strong. And most importantly, they are unstoppable. Give it up for her. They appear without a lot of bluster or warning and silently make a huge impact. I won't try to explain it any further. She can show you better than I can tell you. Please welcome our Center for Educational Opportunity graduation speaker, Alessandra Chavez.
Oh, I had to find the right page. Hold on.
Okay. Hello, beautiful people. There's a lot of y'all here. Okay, yes. Thank you, Claudia, for the beautiful introduction. Trying to make me cry. Okay. So first off, kudos to everyone that showed up today. I almost didn't, because for the longest time, I couldn't decide what to wear. And then I realized we all gotta wear the same thing. Again, my name is Alessandra Cheyenne Chavez. I'm graduating with a Bachelor of Science in Rehabilitation Psychology with certificates in Chicanics and Latinx Studies and Criminal Justice. I am from the Pilsen neighborhood in Chicago. And I am a proud member of Gamma Alpha Omega Sorority Incorporated. I plan to earn both my master's and doctorate degrees, become a psychologist, and work with youth who have been told and treated as though they don't matter. One day, I will open up my own community center that simply focuses on destroying the stigma behind mental health. So y'all better watch out for me. I like to start off by thanking the entire CO team for all they do for their students. Where my CO team at? Where they at? Where they at? Yo, what's good? Okay. They pull folks in with their free printing, but they keep them by providing them with that genuine support, a place to feel validated and welcome, and a good kick in the butt when you need it, and of course, those comfy couches to nap on. I've worked for their mentoring program for the past 4 years, and I appreciate not only the paycheck, but also the acceptance of my ideas and opinions, the learning opportunities, the genuine love and support, the professional mentorship, the great friends, and most of all, my beautiful 16 mentees. CO, these past 5 years have been rough. And as a first generation Latina at a predominantly white institution from a low-income household on the southwest side of Chicago, with those identities, the system was always set up for me to fail. But for me, CO, y'all were like that hardworking mama that ain't taking no for an answer, despite how tired, beaten down, and how low that bank account is. Y'all never gave up and always made it work. So tonight, I stand on this stage at graduation, and from the bottom of my heart, I just like to say thank you. Now, moving forward, I want to talk to you all about a big changing point in my life. At a young age, like probably most of us, my innocence was taken from me. I was forced to grow up very quickly. At a young age, I discovered that in other people's eyes, I wasn't worth much. And of course, I quickly started to believe them. It took about 15 years, give or take a couple, to even be able to realize that I had this opinion about myself. And all it took for me to realize it was a former loved one to invalidate my experience by telling me it doesn't matter what that person did to you, and it doesn't matter what even happened. And in that maybe 30 seconds it took that person to speak that nonsense into the universe, it took me about 1 second to realize their entire life is a lie. It did matter. It does matter. Damn it, therefore I matter. Most of us have to deal with others attempting to define our worth and what it should look like, but do not I repeat, do not let them. Always be your own advocate. Never let anyone silence nor invalidate anything about you. And if no one's told you already, you're worth the extra effort, boo-boo. You're worth the extra time. You're worth that genuine love. You're worth self-love. You're worth the fight. You're worth giving a chance to. You're worth knowing. You're worth existing. You are worth it. We all know the struggle it was to even get into this university, let alone graduate. But just because we know it was hard, doesn't mean we should ever forget about it. We all must learn from it and help others through it. As y'all go off on whatever path you're meant to go on, always remember that you are your own person. Therefore, your path will not look like anyone else's, so don't try to make it look like anyone else's. Most of all, don't view yourself as a failure just because it took you longer, or you needed more help, or you needed this, and you needed that. Baby boo, that's what you needed to succeed. And your success is all that matters in the end. As long as you're not giving up, you're winning. Don't ever stop fighting, loving, and taking care of yourselves and others. We got this, y'all. It's our time to go out and do some amazing things. But first, at this time, would all my beautiful CO scholars please come join me on stage.
Alessandra Chavez. Kimberly Crow. Samantha De Leon. Tiana Gallen. Karen Perez Wilson. Lauren Dillon. Karen Karan Sins. Thank you. Sa Na. Claire Hartman. Lisa Hauser. Francisco Javier Peñalosa. Christina Marie Kamichek. Donald Zing. Li Vang. Puchia Lee. Pa Ying Veng. Bentu Suso. Heather Koski. Uden Tao. Nuying Tao. Jackie Arroyo. Pajal Lee. Kaylee Truong. Melissa Ferreira. Samantha Kozlowski. Bailey Redfern. Crystal Galarzo. Evelyn Sibero. Janae Winston. Aliyah Ali Mafinanga. Maria Baig. Brooke Maslinsky. Cheyenne Coffey. Stephen Ajanang.
Okay, let us now give the CO graduates another applause. Good evening again. As Assistant Vice Provost and Director of the Mercil J. Lee Scholars Program, it is a pleasure for me to introduce the Chancellor Scholars. The Chancellor Scholarship was established in 1984 for academically outstanding and talented ethnic minority and underrepresented students who had the potential to excel in a highly rigorous academic environment. There were 6 students in the original class, and 35 years later, there have been 1,206 Chancellor Scholars who entered the university. And 46 of the scholars are in this graduating class. The program philosophy is excellence in scholarship, leadership, and service. Scholars work together to motivate and support each other while working to make a positive difference in the world around them. This year's class is committed to stewardship, as reflected in the class gift presented to the program last week of $6,165 that will go toward a tuition scholarship for an intern freshman. We are very proud to see this year's class of Chancellor Scholars graduate and move on to the next adventure that awaits them. I am very pleased to introduce one of our graduating Chancellor Scholars, Denzel Bibbs. Who has distinguished himself on campus and became fully integrated into the undergraduate life by participating in student government, serving as a House Fellow in one of our UW Learning communities, and working in a campus engineering design innovation lab. Denzel is a true scholar who believes in making a difference by working for positive change within the classroom and throughout the campus community. He was actively involved in campus life as the College of Engineering student government representative to the Associated Students of Madison. He has a strong commitment to social justice. Wherever he saw injustices, he spoke out about finding solutions to bring people together to create change and peace rather than divisiveness. A mechanical engineering major, Denzel has taken advantage of many opportunities to enhance the depth and breadth of his knowledge in engineering. And these have included internships at the Minneapolis-based Minnesota Technical Assistance Program and at UW-Madison's ice drilling design and operations. After graduation, Denzel would be a product development engineer at Navistar International Corporation in Illinois. Denzel is a true example of our program's philosophy of excellence in scholarship, leadership, and service, and he will certainly make an impact on the community in which he will reside. Please welcome Denzel to the stage.
Good evening, and thank you all for being here. My name is Denzel Bibbs, and I come from a military family. I have lived in 7 different states: California, North Carolina, Illinois, Alabama, New York, Indiana, and now Wisconsin. But I consider my hometown to be Schererville, Indiana, which is a suburb of Chicago with a population of 25,000. I am the first in my family to attend UW-Madison, and I am graduating with a degree in mechanical engineering. Like many of you, when I started my journey here at UW-Madison, I did not know anyone. The Merciel J. Lee Scholars Program, which consists of the Chancellor's and Powers Knapp Scholarships programs, helped me adjust to life on campus through program activities such as class meetings, social events, and volunteer service. My fellow Chancellor Scholars made me feel welcome on campus from day one, and I have developed close friends, which has built a second family for me on this campus. I am thankful to have met talented, determined, and selfless scholars through this program. From the start, I knew that UW-Madison was going to be a rigorous academic environment. The Chancellor Scholar staff encouraged me to be an advocate for myself and to take advantage of all of the opportunities here at UW-Madison. For example, I frequently use the Undergraduate Learning Center within the College of Engineering to help me with some challenging courses. Outside of academic work, I was also involved in various student organizations and civic engagement that has helped me to be who I am today. Starting my first year on campus, I had been trained as a special registration deputy in the city of Madison, which provided me the opportunity to help people get registered to vote. This experience made me feel more connected to campus and the surrounding community, and it was my way of making a small impact beyond the classroom. I was also involved in engineering student organizations that helped me with professional development. First, being a member of the National Society of Black Engineers has connected me with Black professionals and upperclassmen who have brought me invaluable mentorship. The American Society of Mechanical engineers helped me build stronger relationships with my classmates. And in the WISCWIN organization, I was on an interdisciplinary engineering team to design and build a prototype wind turbine for the U.S. Department of Energy Collegiate Wind Competition. In addition to student organization involvement, I have completed 2 summer internships. In my first internship, I worked for the Minnesota Technical Assistance Program at the University of Minnesota Twin Cities, where I helped reduce energy and water consumption at a food manufacturing plant. In my second internship, I worked on campus at the UW Space Science and Engineering Center, where I provided engineering assistance to design and build ice coring drills for climate change research. Through these internship experiences, I have learned how to navigate the engineering workplace and problem solve with professional engineers. And this year, I serve as a House Fellow in Celery Hall. This experience has taught me about mentorship, providing a safe space, and building community for first-year students. Through this experience, I have learned more about my own leadership style, that I am a good listener and a collaborative leader. After graduation, I will be working in the Chicago area as a product development engineer at Navistar International. I will have the opportunity to design heavy-duty vehicles to be more fuel efficient and cleaner for the environment. My hope is that I can be a small part in a larger effort to improve the world around us. Every student on this campus has extended their efforts and talents beyond the classroom. You all of us in this room have made an impact at this university, the surrounding community, and beyond. I know this because as a student, I have seen you all change this university for the better by advocating for change that will make this campus more welcoming and available to those who have historically and continue to be marginalized in higher education. We all have something inside of us, a passion that goes further than just receiving a diploma or getting that first full-time job offer. We all have a unique passion to make a mark on this university and to use our talents to help those around us. And here at UW-Madison, we call this the Wisconsin idea. The Wisconsin idea is something unique to this place that will always stick with me wherever I go. Throughout my tenure here, I was challenged by professors, chancellor scholar staff, and even my fellow scholars here to think about the big picture. And engineering is only one part of the equation to help bring a positive change to our community. People, all of us in this room, are the cornerstone who will make a difference in our community. Therefore, my call to you, fellow graduates, is to continue to advocate for ourselves and for our communities in which we will live and serve. Let's continue our legacy, and go Badgers. And at this time, will all Chancellor Scholars please join me on the stage?
Denzel Bibbs. Flora Gutierrez. Dakota Osborne. Nick Euphrasio. James Colrose. Michaela Batchelor. Brendan Loiza. Monica Jans. Kiara Sanders. June Penn. Elijah Mapies. Mo Lucre. Miguel Barraza. Morgan Hines. Rachel Christensen. Alexandria Catherines Gallardo. Bree Bregman. Mimi Lee. Alicia Cintrone. Taylor Gordon. Eustacia Ikere. Sheila Johnson. Nicholas Alvarez. Wendy Huang. Emily Tran. Isaac Trisoni. Alberto Aranda. Leah Herr. Giovanni Battistini. Alexandria Barrientes.
They only gave me 30 seconds, so you can't use up all my time, all right? Can we get it one more time for the Chancellor Scholars? All right. Good evening. My name is Goodson Vood, and I'm the Assistant Director of the People College Program. People, Pre-College Enrichment Opportunity Program for Learning Excellence, is a pre-college and college program that prepares Wisconsin students to master academic knowledge and build cognitive strategies through experiential learning that will ensure their college experience enriches their lives intellectually, socially, and professionally. Tonight, I have the honor of introducing one of our many outstanding graduates, Miriam Janice Burgess Fabus. So I have an old Post-it note sitting on my computer, and on that note, it says, on this day of March 21, 2018, Miriam Janice Burgess Fabus claims speaking rights for the People graduates at the DDEEA graduation in May 2019. Now, if you know Miriam, this is nothing new, right? She's a planner. She sets goals, and she plans, and she plans, and she plans, and she plans some more, and then one by one, she accomplishes. In one of our very first meetings, Miriam shared a snapshot of what her life was gonna be like, of her future and her plan.
And here's the shortened version of it. Graduate in 4 years, because life's too short. Get her PhD, and then save the world. All before she would turn 30. Because after 30, she was gonna be too old. I'm 29. Plus 10. All right. And she had been doing this all her academic career. From the first day she was accepted to in the People Pre-College program, to the time she was one of 140 students nationally accepted to attend the First Lady Michelle Obama's Beating the Odds Summit in Washington, D.C. From being a facilitator for intercultural dialogues, a peer mentor in the Multicultural Learning Center, our community, in joining and taking on multiple leadership roles with the Sigma Lambda Gamma National Sorority Incorporated. They're over there. And to multiple research assistantships and internships, and now tonight as our graduate speaker at tonight's celebration. And these are all things that she has planned out and she has planned and she has really prepared herself for it. And this is all that she's accomplished so far. This is only a small chapter of her life, and I know that Miriam is going to continue on to go do many great things for herself, for our community, for her family, and she's going to continue to write more and more chapters in her life, even after she turns 30. Ladies and gentlemen, all the way from the great city of Milwaukee, Wisconsin, Miriam Janice Burgess-Fabus.
Thank you. I'm just looking for it, y'all. I'm sorry. You were here before me. Good afternoon and welcome, family, faculty, staff, fellow graduates, family, and friends. My name is Miriam Janice Burgos-Fabus, and I am honored to be standing up here talking to you all. We never thought this day would come. We prayed in hopes for a quick delivery, crossed days from our calendars, counted down hours, minutes, and seconds, and now that it's here, I'm sorry it is. I'm sorry because it means leaving friends who inspire and challenge me, professors who have been my mentors, as well as so many people who have continued to shape my life as well as my classmates' lives. I am here today not only to share my journey at the University of Wisconsin-Madison, but to acknowledge everyone that has been a part of it, being my friends, professors, the People program, and most importantly, my family. As a first-generation college student, the concept of graduating or even attending a four-year institution was all but a dream and a goal I wanted and needed to accomplish. It was thanks to the People program that this dream became a reality. From the first moment I realized and received notice that I was granted admission into the program, I knew that my future was about to begin. My college experience can be classified by two worlds. The first made up of books, and the second full of love and full of life. My world of books allowed me to travel to new adventures. It allowed me to follow my path in environmental sciences and allowed me to dream about my goal of becoming a marine biology, concentrating on coral reef restoration. By far, my most memorable opportunity that my world of book allowed me was to work for the Center for Limnology at Trout Lake Station as a member of the fish research crew. I spent nights on a boat collecting data and days exploring Boulder Junction and all the things that the summer had to offer me. This opportunity confirmed what I already knew. My passion is aquatic life, and that is something I will not give up. Now, while my world of books was a rewarding world, my second is by far superior. I joined my sorority, Sigma Lambda Gamma National Sorority Incorporated. I don't know, it's too loud. And while most would think that joining your freshman year is a bit odd, I gained so much. I've created lifetime bonds with my sisters, my Gamma mom, my Gamma daughters, and most importantly, the ice cream in rotation for life group that's up there. They allow me to be comfortable with myself, to empower myself,
and be myself no matter what. Now I would like to take a moment and give thanks to those who are my ultimate inspiration for everything, my parents. They are my pillars without whom I could not stand. Mami, papi, lo hicimos. Todos los esfuerzos que han hecho me han ayudado a llegar a este momento. Esta graduación es para los tres. 14 de febrero del 2009, 13 de marzo del 2014. 2 días que tengo marcados para siempre. Son 2 días que nunca quiero repetir porque son los días que pude perder mis razones por cual yo sigo adelante. Mami, tú has sido mi mejor amiga, mi corazón entero, mi fuerza para seguir adelante. Desde chiquita tú siempre me has dicho que todo en esta vida se puede hacer si tienes el corazón, la dedicación y la actitud. Tú me has enseñado cómo ser una mujer valiente, una mujer que nunca se va a dejar vencer, ni dejar que nadie ni nada me apague la luz que tú me has dado desde el primer día que yo nací. Yo quiero que sepa que yo sin ti no supiera qué hacer ni quién fuera a ser. Una madre es todo en esta vida y por eso quiero darte las gracias. Love you too. Papi. Sorry. Papi, ¿qué te puedo decir? Siempre has estado para mí. Fuiste mi primer maestro en inglés, en matemática y en estudios sociales. Tú has sido la persona a la que siempre he ido y seguiré yendo cuando necesite que alguien me escuche decir miles de mis artículos, miles de mis presentaciones, y alguien que me escuche cuando tenga dudas sobre mi capacidad de mi trabajo. Todo lo que ustedes han sacrificado por mí no fue en vano. Siempre apreciaré los días que tengo con ustedes, ya que sé que tendremos muchos de ellos. Mami y papi, lo hicimos. Estoy aquí en esta etapa obteniendo mi licenciatura en las ciencias ambientales, en mi camino para convertirme en la mejor bióloga marina que no solo Florida ha visto, sino el mundo. A mi hermano Jonathan, que viajó de Boston aquí, te quiero decir gracias, te amo, te adoro. A Tatita, que vino de Milwaukee, que vino de Puerto Rico, gracias, tu piojito se graduó. Now, to my fellow graduates, I would like to share a quote with you all from the author and professor, John A. Shedd. A ship in harbor is safe, but that's not what ships are built for. I had always been the type of student, as Goody says, who planned every single step that I would take and knew every single decision I would make. If I did not stay on track with my plan, I felt as if I wouldn't be successful. So I tried my hardest to sail through the stormy oceans, place myself in uncomfortable situations where I encountered many devastating moments that taught me a lot about myself. And yet, I made it through, all because of my great planning. However, I have come to learn that no matter how much we plan, things may not go our way, and that's okay. It does not mean that we should stay in the harbor and be safe. We may need some time to reflect and reassess, but most importantly, we must continue to push ourselves and go back out to sea. Although I'll be taking a gap year before going to graduate school for marine biology, I will continue to sail through the Earth's oceans. I will dance gracefully with the harsh waves, swing among ocean life, and admire the fading beauty of the coral reefs, knowing that one day I will return as Dr. Burgos Febus to save them. Catch me saving the reefs soon. So at this time, will all the People Scholars join me on the stage?
Since we was on, I dreamed it all. Ever since I was young, they said I won't be nothing. Now they always say congratulations. Work so hard, forgot how to vacation. They ain't never had the dedication. People hate and say we changing, look, we made it. Yeah, we made it. That was never friendly, yeah. Now I'm jumping out of Bentley, yeah. And I know I sound dramatic, yeah. But I know I had to have it. Yeah.
Miriam Janice Burgos Febus. Jonas Gomez Tijerino. McKenna Dalton. Jaden Donahue Zudi. Richard Lore. Chang Fu Hang. Cherubim Yang. King Tao. Anthony Erutaru. Fantasia Johnson. Joaquin Lara. Alma Sida. Donasia Osborne. Jasmine Vargas. Haley Wilson. Kristen Wolf. Olivia Wolf. Pamela Azine Rodriguez Seda. Anissa Yudawanti. Nasita Keita. Mami Amaanka Brewu. Tracy Zhang. Kubao Tao. Katrina Bell. Natalie Morel. Daisy Mahia. Jonan Gamble.
All right, we're almost home. Although not everyone was able to be here tonight for those of us who are actually graduating, it's time to add to the latest 255 extraordinary DDEEA scholars to the legacy of the University of Wisconsin-Madison. I hope you listen closely to our alumni today, our speakers, the history, and the ancestors. We know that they are watching over us. And now, we acknowledge that you are all part of the Badger Nation. Aim for the stars, live in and save the moment, and always, always remember to reach back. Thank you to all of our guests, our graduates. I'd like to just take a moment to honor the villages by standing and applauding your parents. Please stand and applaud your parents. Right? Graduates, it is time for the moment you all have been waiting for. It officially is going to happen tomorrow, but we're going to have our version right now. Graduates, make sure your tassels are on the right side as we prepare to cross over to alumni status. Congratulations to the class of 2019. Would I have everyone please stand and join us as we sing Varsity? We sing Varsity. We'll cue the music. sing. Varsity, varsity, you are Wisconsin. Praise to thee, we sing, we sing. Praise to thee, our alma mater. You Now, woo! Yes. Now, if I can have everyone else except for our graduates, please take your seats. We ask that you remain in your seats until our graduates actually exit the space. The celebration isn't over yet. We have 2 receptions in this building upstairs on the 4th floor in Great Hall and on the 3rd floor in Great Hall, and in Tripp Commons on the 2nd floor. There is food in both locations. There's a DJ in Tripp Commons to help you get your party on, so I've been told. The ushers will help you get from here to the receptions, and they can show you to the elevators down the hall if the stairs are not an option for you. Good night, everyone. Take care and God bless. On Wisconsin.